Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. We did talk to Kyle Shanahan just recently, and you do have the game status report. And four guys are going to miss the game. They are out due to injury, and it is, of course, Dre Greenlaw. He is going to be out. We asked him if he was going to be placed on IR or who was going to be placed on IR. Aaron Banks, he said, will be placed on IR. So four guys are out: Aaron Banks, Dre Greenlaw, Robert Beal ankle injury, Spencer Burford with a calf injury. So we asked who would be placed on IR. He said Aaron Banks. He didn't say Drake Greenlaw, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but he did say earlier in the week that Drake Greenlaw would miss the last two games. I don't know why they don't want to place him on IR. Maybe they don't need the roster spot, but maybe he feels better and he plays the last game. I don't think so. But anyways, interesting there. Questionable guys, four of them. Jair Brown with an ankle injury, offensive lineman Colton McKivitz, right tackle with a knee injury. He did not practice, and neither did Jair Brown on Friday, which makes me think maybe they don't play or they're more questionable than not. But it is Saturday, and they have all the way till Monday night. So they could get downgraded at some point. But right now, Jair Brown, Colton McKivitz, Jair Brown has an ankle injury, Colton McKivitz has a knee injury. He is questionable. They're both questionable. Linebacker Tatum Bethune with his knee injury, he is questionable. Also, Charvarius Ward is questionable. And Charvarius Ward is questionable for a personal matter. And thankfully, it is a good one. I've spoken to him plenty of times, and he said that his family is expecting a baby boy. And obviously, you know that he dealt with the tragic loss of his almost 2-year-old daughter, Amani Joy. So Kyle Shanahan would not confirm. I asked him, like, is it good news? He's like, yes, nothing. He's like, can't confirm because I haven't spoken to him yet, but nothing bad happened. So I'm assuming that his family has either almost about to give birth to the baby boy or has done so. He's with his family in Texas. So when I spoke to him previously, he kind of hinted that if the baby was born, he was not going to return for the final game or two games or whatever the case may be. So if the baby was born previous to the last game, he was just going to return to the home and be there. Now, when I look at it, his locker has not been cleaned out. Everything's still there. So nothing has happened yet, but I think he kind of hinted towards that. So he may or may not play in this game or the next. But just so happy for Charvarius Ward because the tragedy that has happened to him and his family, while their new child won't ever replace Amani Joy, I think it will help heal the wounds. All right, so the Lions are dealing with injuries as well. They have 19 guys on injured reserve. 49ers have 15, soon to be 16 with Aaron Banks. Lions are dealing with injuries at running back. David Montgomery is out, knee injury. Khalif Raymond, wide receiver, is out with a foot injury. And then linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin has a neck injury and he's questionable. So both teams battered and bruised heading into Monday night. The the Lions, however, have been able to win games, whereas the 49ers have not been able to. So and I asked Kyle Shanahan what he thought about how the Detroit Lions have been able to kind of manage their injuries and still be able to win. And he said, just going on, just going off the 5 days of watching them, I know all the injuries, you see it on the reports, and especially losing their pass rushers and their defensive linemen. But he said, I think the biggest thing that hit them the most in certain areas on defense, but when they play a man as much as they do and blitz as much as they do, their secondary has actually played better. So while they're missing guys on the defensive line and the pass rush, they are doing really well in secondary. So thinking about that, maybe the offensive line, obviously a challenge with a lot of new guys in there, three new guys, maybe two or three new guys. Maybe Brock Purdy does have a little bit more time, but he's going to need to be accurate because the secondary has been playing really good. So, of the Lions. So there are new guys on the offensive line for the 49ers. That's Matt Hennessy, who's a guard center, and Charlie Heck. So Charlie Heck is an interesting guy. He's a tackle who has played under Bobby Slowick, who comes from Chris Furster, who, was with the 49ers for years and years and years, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. So it could be that Charlie Heck is a guy that can step in at left tackle quickly or at right tackle. I honestly think, though, that Colton McKivitz, if he can play, will stay at right tackle. He was not on the practice field on Friday, and neither was Jair Brown. But if Colton McKivitz can play, I think he'll go back at right. And I think maybe a new guy, Charlie Heck, goes to left, which is where he has played before, just because he kind of knows the scheme. It's different terminology, but he knows the job, what they are asking, they would ask him to do in an outside zone. So that is a possibility. But also, Austin Pleasance is a guy that they brought in. They've signed three offensive linemen who were not here and could end up being starters on Monday night. A little bit better news for the offense is that Isaac Rendo, not on the injury report at all, which is a good thing. Saw him out there on the practice field. Also, Kyle Juszczyk, who was out with an illness on Friday, was back on the field on Saturday. So good things in regards to that. Um, it's just a tough season for the 49ers. They've dealt with injuries, they've dealt with so many different things, tragedies off the field, and it would be nice to see them put up a fight against the Detroit Lions, and I think they will. I think they will. Maybe if not for all four quarters, at least for a half. And, I think they're at home. I think that does help. I think the 49ers faithful always bring the energy, and that helps the 49ers. And maybe as long as the Detroit Lions have to go on a silent count, if they can be, the crowd can be loud enough, that could help. The Detroit Lions, though, really, really high-powered offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a really great receiver. Jared Goff has been playing well since he arrived in Detroit. And, the running game, that's going to be a little tougher because they're going with backups, kind of like the 49ers have for the last, I don't know, several weeks. But they've been able to put up points. They've been able to score. So, Nick Bosa, not on the injury report at all, which is a good thing. So he will play. Talanoa Hufanga, I spoke to him. He said that while he was in a glove only during practice, he will wear the cast during the game just because it protects. He doesn't have as much flexion in the wrists as he normally would. When his hand is in a cast, it's in a kind of a loose fist grip. So there's no worry about his wrist hyperflexing backwards, which is what happened before. So we don't want to re-injure it, make it worse. The cast is a protective measure. And then, after going forward after that, he told me he probably would wrap it, going into the off season or next year just to have support. But as of right now, the next two games he's going to play with a cast for sure. Um, D Winters, not on the injury report at all. He had the chest injury. He's fine. Jordan Elliott with a knee injury. He's fine. Nick Bosa, hip oblique. He's going to play. And so, they do have some guys back on the defense, which is good. So they could put up, they could make it a challenge for the Detroit Lions. I think that's what you want to see. Also, you want to take a look at some of the younger guys. Renardo Green playing in the secondary. He's going to go up against top receivers. So will Malik Mustafa. He'll be out there with Talanoa Hufanga. Um, I think we'll see D Winters out there next to Fred Warner. Interesting to see those young guys play. And, it'll be good to see also Yetur Gross-Matos, who was injured through the first half of the season, to see how he will be on the line kind of opposite Nick Bosa. How will that look in 2025? So, a lot of things to look at as we're going forward. I know there's the 49ers are just playing for pride at this point, but they're a team that would love to play spoiler. They would love to keep the Detroit Lions from having home field advantage. And, the Detroit Lions are wanting to come in here for some revenge game. I'm like, well, the 49ers are out of it, so I don't really understand the revenge game thing. I guess their feelings were hurt over last year when they didn't make it to the Super Bowl because they lost in the NFC Championship game at Levi Stadium, going for it on fourth down, maybe one too many times. But anyways, I digress. Um, so it'll be an interesting game. I'll be there. If you are there, please yell, scream, say hello. I'd love to see you. Also, please leave in the comments what you think about the daily updates. I think I forgot to do one yesterday. I don't know. It's been crazy. I went to see, so after Miami, went to see a friend in the Northeast. Then I went back down, hung out for Christmas Eve, Christmas night with my dad. Then went back home, went to San Jose for a practice on Thursday, was home on Friday, back up in San Jose today, which is Saturday. I have family coming in, so we'll have a little family reunion, little 49ers football watch, and games all day Saturday, games all day Sunday. Lots of football to watch. Hope you enjoy. And gosh, I don't know who I want to win the Rams Cardinals game at the end of the day. I just want everybody to lose ultimately. But if you are hanging out with family this weekend, please enjoy. I hope you're having some time off. We will all have some time off. At least I will have some time off in January, I hope. And we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, take care. And I'll talk to you. Maybe I'll do an update on Sunday after some of the games are done. All right. Hope you're well. Please review, please leave a comment, and please subscribe.